Hi, everybody. Alida Zweidler-McKay with CM Coach, where we're all about helping you take your career to the next level, whether that's stepping into your leadership in your current role in your current organization, trying to get that next promotion in your current company, or trying to find another job somewhere else. So today I want to talk to you about why being present to yourself is the number one thing that you can do in your career to really define your career success. So I had a call from a client last week, former client, who was reaching out just to catch up and shared with me that he had just accepted a job that he was really excited about, but he was a little hesitant to talk to me about it because the role that he took is an individual contributor role. And he felt like I probably wanted him to take a management or leadership role. And so he was feeling kind of sheepish about it. And that brought up for me how often and how easy it is, like how often we can get caught up in how everybody else defines success for our career, and how often we can be swayed by that when we're thinking about, what it means to take your career to the next level. In our society, there's a big pressure on moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up, or taking on bigger and bigger teams. Certainly those are some of the pathways that people follow when they take their career to the next level. But I just wanted to come in and share with you today that that's not how I see it. When I talk about people taking their careers to the next level, what I really mean is taking your career to the next level of whatever success looks like for you. So for some people, that does mean leading a bigger team, getting a bigger title, having more responsibility, having a broader breadth of responsibility. And that is absolutely something I help people figure out how to do. But that's not the only way to take your career to the next level. Sometimes there are other options. Sometimes, like with this particular client, there's a different kind of opportunity that comes up, like being an individual contributor where you're leading more through influence rather than really having people that you're managing, and that might be the right fit for you given your life, given where you are, given what's going on for you in your grand scheme of things. So I think one of the things that's really important, and this is something I work with my clients on, is getting a really good, solid, grounded sense of what success looks like for you, what it means for you, and getting yourself to the place where you can get rid of some of that noise about what you should do based on society's expectations of you. You know, if you've been on a career path for a while, maybe you've been in the same field for a while, and there's sort of a general expectation about what it means to move up, but you're feeling like that's not quite what you want. Sometimes that can leave you feeling really stuck or really stalled because you don't really want that next thing. So you're not going after that next thing, but you don't know what the other next things might be for you or how you might find that leveling up that would make sense in your life and for your career. So that is, one of the things I really work with my clients on is getting really clear about what does success look like for you? What does it mean for you to level up? Is it about a sideways move where you get some new challenges or you get some new ways of looking at the world or an opportunity to learn and try new things? Is it moving and taking your skill set to a different industry so that you can do, again, kind of learn in a different way, but maybe it's not a big move up. Maybe what's interesting to you is solving a different set of challenges rather than trying to manage more people or leading a bigger scope. The same thing happened, if I can talk about it, with my husband's career, actually. He was in academic medicine. He's a pediatric oncologist and was in a position where he was leading clinical trials. He was leading a lab of bench scientists, and he was also doing administrative leadership in his organization. And the obvious career track for somebody like him who wants to, like, quote unquote, move up is to take on more and more administrative responsibilities in the academic medical center world. So, maybe in your own institution or moving to a different institution, but kind of moving up through the administrative ranks. And the reality was, for my husband, the administrative stuff wasn't what got him excited. Like his goal in life is to change how we treat cancer and to, reduce the dependency and the side effects of chemotherapy. So for him, you know, giving up some of his lab work or giving up some of his patient care to do more and more administrative work just wasn't really like that kind of getting ahead wasn't really inspiring to him. So several years ago, he actually took a sideways step, and instead of continuing to move up in academia, he made the move over to a biotech where he's actually working with new, well, they're not so new, but like different ways of delivering chemo so that rather than getting full body chemo, you can get it delivered by your own immune system right to your cancer. Very cool. In fact, I'm coming to you from a conference room in San Diego, or a hotel room in San Diego, where he's here meeting with other companies that are doing very similar work. And it's really exciting because it reduces the side effects and it reduces all the ways that chemo can really affect your body, but it still can be very effective in treating cancer. So for him, what was inspiring and exciting was, finding new ways to treat cancer and finding ways to do that reduce the burden of chemotherapy. And moving up inside academia and taking on more and more administrative responsibilities wasn't going to be the place where he could make that happen, like live out his own personal mission. So he made this sideways move, and he's been now in this biotech for 5 or 6 years, and he's having a great time and making big contributions and really happy with his work. So that's an example, whether of really knowing yourself, knowing what you want, knowing what makes you tick, and not just kind of following the lemmings up the next chain, the next step of the ladder, but really defining like, what does up-leveling your career mean for you? I have another client who has done kind of operations sort of leadership and is really interested in continuing to do that, but has decided not to apply for a chief operating officer role in his organization. Actually, in his organization, it would be an assistant director role to the director of the organization. And the reason he's decided not to do that is because that assistant director role has many more outward-facing responsibilities to dealing with the press, dealing with the political scene there in their city. And what he really wants to focus on are the internal operations of the organization. So rather than trying to take that assistant director role, which would be grooming him for a director role, what he's going to do is really focus internally on growing his skills and growing his scope as the organization is expanding and doing more with the operations of it, rather than trying to sort of take that next step up the ladder. So lots of examples have been coming up for me with my clients this week. And what was just striking about it was how kind of apologetic people have been in these conversations, how kind of worried they might feel about, like, how is this going to come across, or what will people think of me, or will they think that I'm not committed to my career or something if I take these kind of different sorts of moves? And the answer is they might, and who cares? Like, part of what you can learn how to do if you're making that kind of move is position it so that people understand what your logic is. And you can certainly do that in a way that's unapologetic and that shows actually more responsibility and more thoughtfulness, because you're making the choice that's the right fit for you, rather than just kind of going along or going with the flow. So the last thing I wanted to say about that is that the other thing that's really important, I have this other client who came in to work with me from this place of, I don't want to be a leader. I find management too stressful. What I really want to do is get off this track where I'm expected to be a manager and work as more of an individual contributor. And while I 100% honor that choice, I also think it's really important to make that choice from a place of strength and certainty rather than a place of fear. And so in our work together, the first thing that we did was really dig into why he was thinking that that was going to be a better fit for him. What we uncovered in his case was actually that he had a lot of fear around it. He had been in a position where he was managing people, and a project that he was leading went kind of sideways. And some of the people that he was leading on that team weren't easy to lead. He had kind of inherited them and didn't quite have the skills to really get them on track, and that had contributed to the project going sideways. And so the story he had for himself is, I'm not a good manager, I'm not a good leader. But when we peeled back that story and really got into what are the kinds of things that motivate him, what are the kinds of things he enjoys doing, how does he like to contribute to the, to the world or to his workplace, it turns out there was an awful lot there that was about collaboration and mentorship and guiding people. A lot of the things that really are at the heart of really strong heart-centered leadership. And so as we moved the fear out of the way and sort of went back and cleared that bad experience he had had and helped him put all that in context, he's now discovered that leading people is something he's excited about. And he's taking up more responsibility in his current organization, in his current role, and also starting to look for other roles where he can continue to build those skills and grow in that way. And of course, working with me, we're working on building those skills as well, so that should he happen to inherit a team that's not very motivated and hasn't been managed very well, should that happen again, he'll be better prepared to handle it and to be able to either bring them along or move them along. So all of that to say that, in my mind, really getting present to yourself and to what motivates you and what interests you and what's exciting to you, but also what you might be afraid of or holding yourself back from. All of that is really key to, first of all, really defining what success is going to look like for you, and then going for it, finding those opportunities, finding those roles that are going to be a good fit, and then being able to talk about it in a way that you can feel really solid and confident and proud of, without apology. So that's what I mean when I say that being present to yourself is your number one factor in your career success. Because when you can get really present to all of those things about yourself, your wants, your goals, your aspirations, and even your fears, then you can carve a path for yourself that makes sense, that helps you meet the broader life goals that you have, and creates the kind of life that you can look back on, over the years as a success. So, hope that's interesting food for thought. If you'd like some help crafting what that might look like for you, what your own pathway is, maybe clearing out some cobwebs from some bad experiences, moving some fear out of the way, giving yourself permission to think broadly about what it is that you actually want in your career, some strategies for helping you get there, be in touch with our team. We'd love to talk with you and help you figure that out. You'll get on the phone with us for about 45 minutes, and we'll talk about where you are in your career and where you want to go. And if we can help you get from here to there, we'll talk about what that could look like. If not, we'll point you to other resources. And either way, our goal is for you to walk away from that call with some real clarity and some real next steps, so that you can continue to move your career forward in whatever way makes the most sense, for you in the broader scheme of your life and your goals. Hope you're well. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.